What is going on, everyone? I hope that everybody is having an amazing night. So, the quick message of today before you go to bed is listen, continue to starve these parasites, okay? And this is not to be negative, but when I say continue to starve these parasites, is listen, soon as you pull your energy away from whatever is draining you, whether it be a person, a place, a thing, a coworker, someone that you might run into, every now and then, but you're starting to pay attention again to how your body feels, how your body responds, because as you guys know, your body can reject certain people, your body can reject certain places, your body can reject certain things that are just not aligned with who you really are, with your frequency. And you have to understand that again, like the power that you hold. A lot of people that run into you, okay, they're not used to this much energy. The way that you compliment people, the way that you have the ability to sit down and you know it's not that it bothers you to hear people's problems, or it's not that it bothers you to give advice. You love to give advice. You love to see people win. You love to see people get to the next level. But where it starts to pull at your energy is in where it starts to drain you, and when it starts to waste your time is that you have to understand that there's a difference between you giving somebody advice and they're accepting the advice, they're taking the advice. You're going to have some people who are going to feel funny, or get a little jealous or get upset just because you're able to have the knowledge and the intelligence to give them advice. You're going to have some people where they're going to say, they're not really going to be listening to what you're saying. It's going to go in one ear and out the other because they really don't want to change. We've all been there, done that, and we know that it takes change to change. And a lot of people, they have a spirit of confusion. A lot of people are in chaos. A lot of people are in drama. And sometimes that's why it's good for ourselves to, pray and, get back to fasting when we are aligned. Because again, we don't chase, we attract. And that's when things start falling, aligned. When our spirit is where it should be, we have the right spirit that's renewed in us. We have the strength. We have the positive mindset. That's just when our frequency is, at the level and high that it should be. Because again, you're chosen. So, you are the light that's surrounded by darkness. You have a lot of energy. You're always on a high frequency. And being on a high frequency, it doesn't always mean that, you're loud and chaotic. No, that's not being on a high frequency. Some people are going to try to mirror your energy and, act all like, loud and chaotic and stuff like that. No, you can still, at the same time, you have a high frequency, you're on a high vibration, but you're also very calm, you're very cool, and you're very collected. And that's, again, where people can't figure you out. But the topic of today is, and sometimes people trying to figure you out, maybe it's not them, you giving them advice. Maybe it's just people, you know, everything you do now, it has to have purpose. Now, this is not saying that you can't relax. It's so important to relax. It's so important to, again, remember, that, not to be in survival mode. God is in control. To have a peace of mind. Sometimes, we end up, spiraling and trying to save this and save that. But you have to remind yourself that, listen, you have nothing to worry about. This is your winning season. God is not hiding your blessings anymore. But it's going to take you to continue doing what you're doing. You know, you're doing an amazing job being in alignment with your purpose so it can continue to be fulfilled. Continue protecting your energy, using all your energy, you know, where it belongs. Because a lot of people, you know, they can pull on your energy by trying to figure you out, you know, ask you a lot of questions. You know, again, don't be afraid to keep things to a minimum. You being anonymous, you being, people want to make it seem like, it's an issue being secretive, or they want to call you bougie. No, everyone does not have the luxury and does not have the right to, feel entitled and obligated to know about every little single thing about you, to want to be in your presence 24/7, to want you to answer your phone calls and every text message. Some of you guys just cleansed out your contact list. And a lot of people, if they still are to this day, are taking it personal that they can't pull on your energy, or they can't pick and choose when they want to pull on your energy. You need your energy. You need your energy and your strength to do, to get things done in your own personal life. And you need your energy and your strength, and you need your peace of mind just to keep your solitude. You need your space. You need to protect your aura, and you need to, protect your energy. And what I mean by a parasite is someone who is always poking at you, because they know that out of everybody, and you carry something that a lot of people don't carry. You have all this energy. You really do have what it takes, like, to help heal people. Like, you're really connected to God. You really are. But again, we're not God, so we can't change people. And you don't want to lose yourself trying to change people. And you also don't want to drain yourself and have yourself feeling depleted by someone who's a energy vampire, a energy parasite. And this is messages for both men and women. You're going to have women who are going to try to pull your energy, men who are going to try to pull on your energy, people who are going to try to pull your energy, family, coworkers, just places that you go out. Sometimes maybe you might want to go food shopping, run some errands, and then you might want to go to the gym after doing whatever. You might want to do paperwork, or you might want to relax or handle business, or, go for a jog or go for a walk, or take your kids out to the park or something like that, or take your dog out for a walk. And then, energy transfer is real. A long conversation, that's energy transfer. That's why, iron sharpening iron is so powerful. And then as people begin talking to you, the minute that people, start talking to you, just in the way that you speak, they can just sense, again, you're genuine. They can sense how peaceful you are. They can sense that you are a natural healer. You have good energy. You have a lot of energy. People might catch you, in a day where, you are cool, calm, and collected, but you're not hiding. Sometimes God will have you move in silence, but sometimes, you're not hiding. Listen, you're not hiding the woman and the man that God created you to be. You're not in your hiding season. God is not hiding your value anymore. You're confident. You're not watering yourself down. You're gifted. You're talented. You're in your purpose. You're in your calling. And all of that is written all over you. People can sense that. Like how dogs can smell stuff from a mile away. It's like people, these energy vampires, these energy parasites, they can sense that. That's why whenever you go certain places, it feels like always like all eyes are on you. And you know what people want because you're using discernment. It's okay to keep things to a minimum. It's okay to, say, hey, how you doing? If, speak when spoken to. And now you know that some things aren't worth a response. And if you are running into an energy parasite, we're learning how to move around. Because again, you are in your winning season. People can not only sense, you're a natural healer. They can not only sense that, there's something good and unique and a different, attractive way about you. They sense you have a lot of energy. They sense how powerful, your strength, your inner strength. You have what it takes to sit down and give people genuine good advice, like genuine good advice, because you genuinely do want to help people. But you're realizing that, this is the time to help yourself. This is the time, this is the moment in your winning season to not look back, but to continue to keep on moving forward, pressing towards the mark. And as God is renewing you with strength and energy, as He's taking you to higher levels, you're just going higher and higher and higher. You're glowing more and more and more. You have your spark back. You have your glow back. You have everything that these energy parasites or, people try to take it away. And it took time, but you're starting to see it's paying off. So continue to enjoy that. Continue to protect that. I love you all so, 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 so much. Have a great night, and I will see you all next time. Bye.